And then yesterday, Brian Windhorst dropped the truth bomb on him where he essentially said that, look, no team is interested in signing for LeBron. I'm sorry to break it to you. There are no teams.
The Los Angeles Lakers have reportedly made a huge statement by handing Austin Reaves a massive 4-year, $185 million maximum contract, while LeBron James remains without a new deal, no clear commitment from the franchise, and reportedly no meaningful discussions about what comes next. That unexpected contrast quickly became one of the biggest stories in basketball after ESPN insider Brian Windhorst explained why the situation surrounding LeBron has become unusually quiet, offering an analysis that surprised many fans. According to Windhorst, the league may no longer be competing to offer LeBron the enormous contracts that once seemed guaranteed, suggesting the market he dominated for years has changed dramatically. That has sparked an even bigger debate across the basketball world about why one of the NBA's greatest stars suddenly appears to be a secondary priority for the Lakers. So what is really happening behind the scenes? Are the Lakers showing a lack of appreciation for everything LeBron has accomplished, or are they making a calculated business decision by focusing on the future instead of the past? Share your thoughts before we take a closer look at every angle of this developing story. The timeline itself has raised plenty of questions. Just days ago, reports claimed the Lakers reached an agreement on a 4-year, $185 million maximum contract with Austin Reaves, not LeBron James. Reaves, the former undrafted guard from Oklahoma who entered the league in 2021 without superstar expectations, has experienced an incredible rise in only a few seasons. If finalized, the deal would reportedly make him the highest-paid undrafted player in NBA history, highlighting one of the league's most remarkable success stories. At the same time, the move also sends a powerful message that is impossible to ignore. While the NBA's all-time leading scorer remains in the same locker room waiting for clarity about his future, the Lakers appeared eager to secure Reaves first, leaving many fans wondering whether the organization is signaling the beginning of a completely new era.
Is in damage control mode right now. And the reason that these guys are scrambling as a network is because for the last few days, Stephen A. Smith has been up on TV talking about, oh man, the Lakers need to make sure they sign LeBron James, man. They need to make sure they sign LeBron James, man, because, you know, they're not winning nothing with LeBron. Like I said, it's like, yo, dog, prior to this playoffs, LeBron's playoff record with the Lakers was 2-14 over the last 14, 2-12 over the last 14 playoff games. 2-12. But they were trying to make it seem like these guys were going to the finals every single year. No, it's been a disaster now. For quite some time, with him on the roster.
From the outside, the Lakers' decision appeared to send a clear message about the direction of the franchise. After evaluating their roster, planning for the future, and weighing the difference between Austin Reaves' long-term potential and LeBron James' stage of his career, the organization seemed determined to secure its younger cornerstone before addressing the future of its veteran superstar. That move immediately became one of the biggest talking points across sports media. Television analysts quickly began asking why LeBron was not the first priority and why the front office chose to finalize Reaves' deal before resolving the situation with one of the greatest players in NBA history. For years, many believed nearly every major Lakers decision revolved around LeBron, whether it involved trades, coaching changes, or roster construction. His influence was considered central to the organization's biggest moves. This offseason, however, the approach appeared noticeably different. Rather than waiting for clarity on LeBron's future, the Lakers reportedly moved forward by securing Reaves first, leaving questions about their longtime superstar unanswered. The financial details only fueled the conversation even more. After reportedly declining a $14.9 million player option, Reaves is expected to receive a 4-year contract worth $185 million, with his first season salary projected to be around $41.3 million. The remarkable rise of the former undrafted guard has become one of the NBA's most impressive success stories, transforming him from a player fighting for a roster spot into someone earning superstar-level money. At the same time, LeBron James, the league's all-time leading scorer and one of basketball's most accomplished icons, continues to wait as fans speculate about what value the Lakers now place on the next chapter of his legendary career. Another major detail in Austin Reaves' reported contract is the player option included for the final season in 2029-30. Giving him the opportunity to secure a massive payday now while still maintaining flexibility over his future. That addition makes the agreement even more significant, as no undrafted player has ever been linked to a contract of this reported value. So why were the Lakers willing to commit such a historic amount? The answer comes down to one key factor: leverage. Reports suggested the Detroit Pistons were seriously interested in pursuing Reaves, and they had created enough salary cap space to make a competitive offer. That meant the Lakers could no longer assume they would retain him on a cheaper deal. Once another franchise became a legitimate threat, Los Angeles reportedly realized it had little room to negotiate. ESPN's Brian Windhorst explained that only a couple of days before the reported agreement, the Lakers were believed to be discussing a contract worth roughly $30 million per season. Then, as Detroit's interest intensified, the reported offer quickly climbed to more than $45 million annually within about 24 hours. The dramatic increase stunned many around the league, turning what already seemed like an impressive contract into an even bigger headline. In what felt like the blink of an eye, Reaves reportedly went from considering one salary level to securing a deal worth millions more simply because another team was prepared to compete for his signature. That is exactly what leverage looks like in professional sports. When multiple organizations value a player highly, the price rises quickly, leaving the original team with a simple decision: match the market or risk watching one of its most important players leave for another franchise.
But then, of course, the news came out that Austin Reaves was extended by the Lakers for a 4-year, $185 million contract. And that's when the writing started to show up on the wall. Okay, yeah, maybe this franchise is moving on. So today, during an episode on First Take, it was Stephen A. Smith, I think Vince Goodell, and Kendrick Perkins. And they started panicking on the set. Oh my God! Why did they focus on LeBron? Even Stephen A. Even Kendrick Perkins. Why the Lakers got it wrong? They should have prioritized LeBron James before they prioritized Austin Reaves. And they just going into damage control mode, because a lot of these people were the same people talking about there was this big market out there for the guy. Like there were so many teams that were lining up to sign him. And then yesterday, Brian Windhorst dropped the truth bomb on him, where he essentially said that, look, no team is interested in signing for LeBron. I'm sorry.
Reaves entered negotiations with another interested team reportedly ready to make a serious offer, leaving the Lakers with little choice but to act quickly if they wanted to keep him. That situation creates a striking contrast with LeBron James' current position. ESPN's Brian Windhorst raised the question many fans have been asking: which teams are prepared to offer LeBron a massive long-term contract? His assessment suggested that while several franchises would likely welcome a player of LeBron's caliber under the right circumstances, there does not appear to be an intense bidding war involving maximum-level offers. In the NBA, competition between teams often determines a player's market value, and without multiple organizations driving the price upward, the negotiating advantage shifts. According to Windhorst, the Lakers are not being forced to outbid rival teams for LeBron the way they reportedly had to with Reaves. Instead of reacting under pressure, Los Angeles can afford to evaluate the market, consider its long-term plans, and decide what kind of commitment makes the most sense. That difference has become one of the biggest storylines of the offseason. Reports from Shams Charania also indicated that, at that point, the Lakers had not yet presented LeBron with a new offer and that communication between the two sides had been relatively limited. During the period when teams typically work to reach agreements with their own free agents and avoid unnecessary uncertainty, the Lakers appeared in no rush to finalize LeBron's situation. While that silence does not necessarily mean the organization is preparing to move on, many believe it reflects a significant shift in the balance of power. Reaves entered negotiations with outside interest creating urgency, while LeBron, for perhaps the first time in his career, appeared to be waiting for the Lakers to determine what comes next. Across the NBA, teams have been using the early negotiating period to secure key players, finalize contracts, and give their biggest stars certainty about their future. Yet when it comes to LeBron James and the Lakers, there has been very little public movement. ESPN's Brian Windhorst described the lack of communication as unusual, and that observation has only fueled more discussion throughout the basketball world. For longtime followers of LeBron's career, the situation feels dramatically different from anything they have seen before. In previous free agency periods, LeBron was never just the top priority for his own franchise, he was the centerpiece of the entire NBA offseason. Organizations created salary cap space to pursue him, front offices delayed major decisions while waiting for his choice, superstar players actively recruited him, and entire franchises reshaped their future around the possibility of signing him. His decisions had the power to transform a team's direction overnight. This time, however, the circumstances appear to have changed. Many observers believe the Lakers have already made their long-term vision clear, with Luka Doncic viewed as the centerpiece of the franchise and Austin Reaves reportedly receiving a massive 4-year, $185 million commitment. That has led to growing speculation that LeBron is no longer the central figure in the organization's future plans. The financial side of the situation also helps explain why the conversation has become so complicated. Under NBA salary cap rules, when a free agent has not yet signed a new contract, his former team cannot immediately remove his salary from its payroll calculations. Instead, a temporary figure known as a cap hold remains on the team's books until a new deal is completed or other roster decisions are made. Understanding that rule is important because it plays a significant role in how the Lakers can manage their salary cap while determining what comes next for one of the greatest players in basketball history.
Lakers signed Austin Reaves to a 4-year, $185 million max contract to keep him in LA and restrict him from becoming a free agent, so AR will stay in LA with Luka. But as for LeBron James, who is an unrestricted free agent, Shams Charania says there's been not much movement. Listen to this.
My understanding is there hasn't been an offer out to LeBron James yet as far as his free agency. We'll see how that develops over the next 4 or 5 days when free agency starts. But a lot of it is like, how much can we upgrade the roster and then potentially go back to LeBron? Or do you take care of LeBron first and then figure out any type of potential roster move?
All right, so no offer yet for LeBron James. Stephen A., is it at all concerning that the Lakers have yet to offer LeBron when they've already taken care of Austin Reaves?
Not at all. Not at all. The priority was to make sure you took care of Austin Reaves because he's got value around the league because of his youth. And as a result of that, you can sign him and deal with other stuff later. You still got...
LeBron James' reported cap hold is enormous, sitting at roughly $59.5 million, while Austin Reaves' previous contract left him with a much smaller cap hold of about $20.9 million. That difference gave the Lakers a significant financial advantage during negotiations. Because Reaves' placeholder amount was relatively low, the team could delay signing his new contract, use its available salary cap space to pursue other players, and then finalize his long-term deal after completing the rest of its off-season moves. In other words, the reported $185 million agreement did not need to be completed immediately because the smaller cap hold allowed the Lakers to remain flexible. Technically, the organization could follow a similar strategy with LeBron, but the size of his cap hold makes the situation far more complicated. Instead of preserving flexibility, his placeholder consumes a large portion of the team's available salary cap, limiting what the front office can do until his future is resolved. That financial reality may explain why the Lakers appear willing to address LeBron's contract later in the offseason rather than making it their first priority. For many fans, that represents a remarkable change from previous years. There was a time when LeBron was the first player a franchise focused on, the first meeting on the calendar, and the first contract executives wanted to finalize. Now, many observers believe the Lakers are approaching him as the final piece of their off-season plans instead of the starting point. That shift also helps explain the discussion surrounding reports that Los Angeles could have close to $100 million in salary cap space this summer. While that figure sounds like enough room to aggressively pursue multiple star players and reshape the roster around Luka Doncic, Brian Windhorst suggested that much of the number is more theoretical than practical. According to his analysis, a large portion of that projected cap space is tied to salary cap rules and roster mechanics, meaning the Lakers do not have nearly as much spending freedom as the headline figure might suggest. While some salary cap projections make it appear that the Lakers have a massive amount of money available, the reality is more complicated because several large cap holds are still occupying valuable space on the team's payroll. LeBron James' reported $59.5 million cap hold, along with Rui Hachimura's reported $27.4 million cap hold, continues to count against the salary cap until the Lakers either re-sign those players, renounce their rights, or allow them to leave. That means the headline figure suggesting nearly $100 million in available cap space does not represent money the team can freely spend right away. Instead, much of it remains tied up in financial rules that require important roster decisions before true flexibility can be created. According to ESPN's Brian Windhorst, this is why the Lakers may be following what he described as an alternative strategy. Rather than rushing to finalize a new contract with LeBron, the organization appears prepared to explore the trade market, pursue other free agents, and continue building the roster around Luka Doncic before determining exactly what resources remain. Only after those moves are completed would the front office reportedly return to discussions with LeBron. If that approach proves accurate, it represents a dramatic shift from the way LeBron's teams have traditionally operated. Throughout most of his career, organizations treated him as the foundation of every off-season plan, often waiting for his decision before making any other significant moves. This time, however, the Lakers appear to be handling other priorities first while leaving his contract unresolved until later in the process. For a player who has long shaped the direction of entire franchises, finding himself in a position where the team completes much of its off-season business before addressing his future marks a significant change. It is that contrast that has fueled so much debate across television networks and throughout the basketball world, as analysts continue discussing what this new approach could mean for both LeBron James and the future of the Lakers.
Kennard, you got Jackson Hayes, you got these people along with LeBron James. You can exercise bird rights and keep those guys, you know that, so that's a reality. But most importantly, here's the thing that's not being said. LeBron James has graduated to a point in the NBA in his career where he could essentially choose where he wants to go for the most part. Like if LeBron James, it's a money issue where we're concerned in terms of us talking about how the Lakers ain't gonna give him $52 million and all of this other stuff. I got that part. But if LeBron James, money aside, sat up there and said, I want to be on your basketball team, who's telling him no? Anybody telling him no? I mean, you might have one or two teams that might say no, but for the most part, 95% of the league is going to be like, hell yeah.
LeBron James is now 41 years old, and that reality has become one of the biggest factors shaping his current market value. No NBA front office is likely to hand out a maximum contract worth more than $50 million per season to a player at this stage of his career without carefully weighing every financial and basketball risk involved. That is not necessarily a sign of disrespect from the Lakers, nor does it erase everything LeBron has accomplished throughout one of the greatest careers in NBA history. Instead, it reflects the difficult decisions every organization must make when balancing age, long-term planning, injury concerns, recovery, future roster construction, and salary cap management. While LeBron continues to perform at an elite level, executives also have to consider how a massive contract could affect their ability to build a championship-caliber team around him. Many of the debates surrounding the Lakers overlook that financial reality. The current market is not quiet because teams have forgotten who LeBron James is or what he brings to the court.